Welcome to Acme Balance, brought to you by the Academy of the Golden Gates. I am Yvette, aka the Doctor of the Gods. I'm coming to you tonight with the second key. On the night before, we talked about the first key, which is the self mastery and the return to Eden. Now, on tonight's episode, we're going to talk about the seven seals. Now, those of you that have already listened to the first key, I gave you the information about what is Eden and how Eden ties into the self. I also gave you the information on how self-mastery will allow you to discover what Eden really is, and it will spark something in you where you will want to dive deeper and understand more about the self. So on tonight's episode, we're going to talk about the seven seals of the soul. Now, I was introduced to the seals on accident. And it wasn't an accident because nothing's accident when it comes to spirit and your growth while you're on your self-mastery journey and self-discovery journey. Things will just be given to you to explore, and you have a choice. You either going to explore it or you don't have to explore. It's up to you. Well, for me, I was on vacation, and I was on vacation in Sedona. And those of you that know, Sedona is a vortex, and it's very powerful. I really went there to feel the energy, because at this time, as I'm on this journey, I'm learning how energetically I feel and how the energy moves through me and out me, and understand that I am some type of energy source. I didn't have the whole definition at that moment, but I knew I could feel the energy that was within me and around me, and how I was affecting others with who I was, with my attitude and everything else. So me visiting Sedona allowed me to see open another door to the self. As I step onto these beautiful rocks, I instantly seen in my third eye, which is vision, intuition, I see 7 circles begin to spin, and they're white. The energy around them is white. I instantly stopped, and I looked around trying to see if anybody noticed that I had just had this vision. During this time, I'm trying to get used to my abilities and my communication with myself and understanding every part of myself. So I'm really not sharing a lot with a lot of people because my background is Christianity. Also, I'm a Baptist. So me having abilities and stuff like that. I see my dad do certain things, but it just wasn't heard of in a sense of how I was feeling the things I was feeling. So I kept everything to myself. But once my vacation was over, I went back and I started researching. Now, as I beginning to research, I realized that this was talked about in another culture. It was kind of, at this point, I'm realizing, because it's a pattern. As I'm on this journey, I'm learning that certain things are in certain religions and certain cultures that are true, and I'm actually experiencing it. And I'm not a part of the culture. So, as I realized this, I realized that these seals are very important, and they are energy centers, and they are meant to balance the energy within our bodies. Now, I'm gonna give you a little context right here, just so you could understand what it really means and what the energy centers are. The seals are more than energy centers. They are living gateways, divine harmony through harmonic through which spirit becomes matter and matter remembers spirit. Each seal, each chakra is a note in the celestial symphony that is you. And when all 7 resonate as one, your soul begins to sing its ancient song. The melody of Eden, the sound of the divine balance restored. To awaken these seals is to invite the current of divine intelligence to flow freely through every dimension of your being, renewing your body with vitality, your mind with clarity, and your heart with remembrance of who you have always been. a vessel of light in human form. Now, when I realized what this was, I became fascinated because now I'm finally finding out what I am and how the body actually works when it comes to energy around me and within me for the most part. This was fascinating because I know for me, when certain people was around me or talked to me that was always mean and angry, I could feel it. Like it would do something to my heart, and it was just like I don't want to be bothered with them. Like I would automatically take myself out of that energy dynamic, or either that dynamic or environment, so I could vibrate on my own or continue to live my life in happiness, because for the most part, I was a happy, loving person. And those that wasn't happy and loving, I stayed away from it. My soul didn't want to be bothered with them, because who they were will pull me down. I can feel the pull in the tug. And it wasn't conducive to my growth. So I naturally pulled myself away from certain people. Now, by me learning this, I understood why I began to do that naturally. So now let's dive into me explaining these 7 seals and how they work and how they operate, and just giving you the full on focus of their aspects, okay? Chakras, a concept originating in ancient India. Spiritual traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism are believed to be the body's main energy center. The word chakra comes from Sanskrit word for wheel or circle, referring to spinning vortexes of life energy or prana that resides along the spine. According to these traditions, the 7 main chakra influence a person's physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Each chakra is associated with specific areas of the body, a color, and certain emotions. When energy flows freely, the chakras are balanced. However, if the chakra becomes blocked, it can cause physical and emotional symptoms. The chakra system is often used to practice like yoga, meditation, and Reiki to promote balance and well-being. Now, just by reading this, that was enough for me to dive deeper, because when I seen the circles, I could see them. It was spinning. They were all spinning, but it was fascinating. It was spinning at the same time. So I'm like, oh my God, what is this? So let's dive a little deeper, because I'm excited about this. This really started my opening doors for me to learn more about this self, because it gave me insight on why I had certain emotions, why I was purging the way I was purging and releasing, why I was doing certain things I didn't have no knowledge of. I was doing it automatically. It's like my body remembered, my soul remembered. My soul was taking me on a journey I had no notion of, no information, no knowledge of, but I still followed the urges and the just resonation to continue to move forward. Okay. The 7 main chakras. I'm going to give you the 7 main chakras, the color, frequency, and the element of each. Root chakra. I'm going to try to pronounce this. This is in, I think it's Indian. Muladhara is deep red, and the element is earth. Located at the base of the spine, this chakra represents security, stability, and survival. It associates with the color red and is our grounding force connecting us to earth. This one is very important, because most of the times when we are operating, most people are walking around operating out of the root chakra. They hadn't even made it to the other chakras. Those are the levels you have to go through in life to heal. So when you see certain people in hurt, pain, or agony, or those very low vibrational things, you know that they're operating at the root chakra. They're not operating, and it's dysfunctional and very unbalanced. The second chakra, sacred. Sacral. The sacral chakra. Zavadahis. I ain't even gonna try it. Svadhistana. It is orange, and it's connected to the water element. Found in the lower abdomen, below the navel, the sacral chakra governs emotions, pleasure, creativity, and sensuality. And its color, remember, is orange. The solar plexus chakra. It is golden yellow. And the element is fire. The name for it in India, Manipura, located in the upper abdomen. This chakra is the center of personal power, self-esteem, and confidence. It is associated with the color yellow. Now, when I pronounce these words, don't hold it against me because I'm working on pronunciation with these different words. Now, chakra, the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra, Anahata. It is emerald green with rose pink overtones. It is associated with the air element. Situated in the center of the chest, the heart chakra acts as a bridge between the lower and upper chakras. It is the center for love, compassion, and emotional balance, and its color is green. Throat chakra, Vishahuda, sky blue, ether is the element. Located in the throat, this chakra represents communication, self-expression, and the ability to speak one's truth. It is associated with the color blue. The sixth chakra is called the third eye chakra, Ajna, indigo, violet, and is associated with the element light. It's positioned between the eyebrows. The third eye chakra is a center of intuition, inner wisdom, and spiritual insight. Its color is indigo. Crown chakra is number 7, Sahasrara. The color is white, violet, gold. It is the spirit element located at the top of the crown, the head. The crown chakra is the highest energy center. It represents enlightenment, spiritual connection, higher consciousness. It is associated with the color violet or white. Now that we have went through the 7 seals, these are energetic seals that's within the body. When you sit on the ground and you're grounding, you can feel them operating. And if you can't, you continuously practice so you can begin to feel them internally. These chakras will let you know how they're operating by showing up within your emotions and your thoughts. When you look at the root chakra, that's the bottom of the base of the spine. It is called the foundation and safety and embodiment. Sacral chakra, creativity, sensitivity, and emotions. The solar plexus, willpower, purpose, self-mastery. The heart is love, is tied to love, compassion, and unity. The throat, expression, truth, and resonance. The third eye, vision, intuition, clarity. Crown is divinity, unity, and enlightenment. As you go through, as you realize that these chakras are very important to your life, once you study them, you'll understand how it ties to your everyday life and how it shows up in trying to communicate with you to let you know the things that need to be changed or the things that you can work on them a little bit, or either you have became stagnant in it. Each seal is a living flower of consciousness, blooming within the human temple. When nurtured through meditation, sound, color, and virtue, These inner flowers open, allowing the river of Eden to flow, the pure life force to flow freely once more. So these chakras being blocked is not allowing the energy to flow freely up and down the spine to keep you balanced. It's only stopping in a certain place, and where it's stopping it is where it's trying to tell you that you need to work on it so it can flow up freely. When I first felt this, it scared me a little bit because you don't hear many people talking about this openly. It's like a secret thing. You hear a lot about meditation and you can research chakras, but there's not a lot of people talking about the actual embodiment of how these chakras works and what you feel as you are working on each chakra. It gives you a sense of understanding that I finally found something to let me know what I am and how my body actually works, because this vessel is more than just flesh and bones. And by doing this, it becomes addictive because I wanted to learn more because I was getting so much out of it. Now, when we reading the Bible and going to church, you're feeling certain things within you for the moment. It's really not allowing you to offload the energy, the old energies, or the things that's in your mind and in your heart. When you tap into other parts of yourself and understand how this works, it helps you relieve yourself of the agony, of the overthinking, overeating, your thoughts, your habits. It teaches you how to tap into certain other things and what chakra you're working on when you are tapping to these things. So these seals are amazing to add to your toolbox so you can finally become one with yourself and understand yourself a lot more. When these energies and these chakras become restricted and stagnant, imbalance arise. You got to understand that each seal is a gate and may express disharmony as fear, shame, anger, grief, suppression, confusion, or disconnection. Yet every imbalance is also an invitation, a gentle call back to harmony. Healing begins not with resistance, but with awareness and love. Now, let me tell you, as you become aware that these things are there, you have to be honest about what you're feeling and what emotions and memories and situations are tied to these emotions or to these situations. And at that moment, you have to be okay with letting it go. If you think about how people live in the past, you live in the past because your mind constantly go back there. Your mind constantly think about when you see a person that did you wrong, you constantly thinking about how they did you wrong, and you may say some words or whatever. That constantly keep you living in the past and stagnant. You hadn't let the energy go. You haven't replaced that emotion and that hurt and that fear and that situation. You have replaced it with something positive or a tool so you can move forward. So you remain stagnant and stuck because you're still living in the past. It's not good to keep living that way because it actually hinders your growth mentally, physically, emotionally. And energetically, you vibrate that negativity because it comes from your energy field, your frequency. People don't know how this actually affects your whole entire being. That's why it's good for you to let go. The song everybody talking about, let go. A lot of people don't know how to let go. Let go and let God. If you don't know how to let go, you need to research and figure out why you holding on to something. What is it in your heart that won't allow you to let go of it? You got to forgive yourself and them too. Because if you don't, you're going to suffer right along with them, and it's not worth it. So these chakras and the different parts and aspects of these chakras, it allow you to let you see where the energy is stored when you do certain things. And then it gives you the results of what it looks like if they're unbalanced. Okay, so let's dive into the function and balancing of these chakras and seals. The chakra form part of the body's subtile energy system. a network of light flowing through channels known as nadis. These currents connect each center, supporting communication between the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual body. I'm going to say this again because a lot of people don't understand how we have several bodies. This chakra forms part of the body's subtle energy system, a network of light flowing through channels known as nadis. These currents connect each center, supporting communication between the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. When a chakra is blocked or overactive, it may express through physical or emotional patterns such as tension, fatigue, jealousy, boredom, insecurities, or lack of clarity, depending on which seal is affected. Balancing the energy centers restores flow and coherence. Techniques may include, now, I'm going to stop right there because balance the energy centers restore the flow of coherence. There's techniques to balance these chakras, but in the process of balancing them, you have to purge them. Just like when you purge your body, your mind, your blood, it requires you to detox these certain energy fields. And most of the time, it's connected to the heart, what you have stored in the heart, the things you went through, your past, and then you worry about the future. This is why it's so important to live in the present, because it keeps every part of you balanced. And you have to understand that you have to allow certain things to come in and be spontaneous or either surprising for you. Because how would you know how God works if you don't allow it to flow in? How do you know how the universe works and give you things and blessings and all these things if you are trying to fully control it? It's impossible. You're hurting yourself more than doing any good. So the certain techniques that you can use to help balance and restore flow and coherence is yoga postures, meditation and breath work, sound and affirmation, creative movement, color therapy, and mindful nourishment. The key is presence. I just said that. The only way you can continue to keep these balances, stay in the present, approaching your energy system as a living garden that thrives through gentle attention and not force. And the force is control, because when you try to control, you're trying to push something where it may not need to go that way. A lot of times we want things that's not good for us. Sometimes God try to open doors. They show us different doors, but instead of us taking that door because it's not normalcy, or it's not what they would consider as conducive or something that they are interested in, they won't take it. You have to be open. Your heart has to be open. You have to be open-minded, and you have to be, because there are several ways. You're limitless to getting to where you want to go, but you have to be completely open. And so you can't pass or either miss the opportunities. And every opportunity is not missed, but for this sake of this sacred teaching, I want to let you know that we can miss what God's trying to tell us if we are so fixated on how things supposed to look. Be open, because as you're open, more things will be that will flow to you, and you will see how God actually work in real time. So let's talk about the scientific perspective. From a modern scientific lens, the chakra system is not directly measurable by the current instruments, as Western science does not yet have the tool to detect subtle energy. A lot of people think it's not true. A lot of times things are not talked about or given freely because it's not measurable. And this is something that you have to experience to measure it. I never even thought about this being an option until it was shown to me. And then that allowed me to have other doors open for me to research and to gain the knowledge by actually walking in it and being in it and seeing it in real time and recording it. every day I recorded what was going on. I sat with myself every day and recorded how I felt, how I was moving, what needed to be purged, what was coming up as different things that I need to review and let go. And if you're not present and available, you're gonna miss those things. And with our lifestyles, most of the time we're constantly moving, constantly taking care of kids, taking care of our families. We're actually being high demand when it comes to work. It doesn't give you a chance to balance out your energy and to relax and come to a state of peace so you can receive the information that you need. And you got to be at a certain baseline energetically to receive the things that you need. So with science, everything is measured off science. We all know that. And this is one thing that this is something that's felt and observed by the self. It's something you can't really measure unless somebody tell you how they feel and what they felt when they went through it. So I encourage you to explore and seek out to learn this thing about you, so you can actually learn to maneuver your life in a way where it's conducive to your growth and your energy centers. Now, there are, however, research in psychology, neurobiology, and energy medicine increasingly acknowledging the mind-body connection, how breath, attention, and emotion affects the psychological balance. Okay? So we're going to go to the inner garden of light. Let's talk about that. And the alchemical practice of the chakras. Now, with the chakra systems, even though they have the mechanics of them requires to be balanced, and then they give you information of how they are when they're not balanced, it's a deeper meaning to all of this to help you understand the mechanics behind each one of them. Now, when it comes to this, it requires you to alchemically, when I tell you to balance it, you have to alchemically, there's a process, alchemically, the process that you have to use to keep the chakras balanced. And they use this as an ancient art. It wasn't something that was taught. Like I told you, you can't measure it. So each person is different, but the baseline is still the same. So you will find out what works for you. And it's really a inner transformation versus outer. This is why I say it's varied from person to person. My process may not look like somebody else's process, and it's okay. However you got there is how you got there. That's what makes this process so unique, because it's a personal experience. It's not something that somebody can mimic and use over and over again. All thing I can do is give you my experience on what I did to get there. Now yours may be different because your lifestyle was different. Your path and your journey was way different than mine. But it can be done. So the transmutation that once you start this path and you begin to see that you are on a self-mastery journey or self-love journey, certain things will be presented in ways where it'll give you a chance to transmute the energies within those chakras. And really, the energies is like it's like a base matter, which is fear, stagnant, and density. And then it's going to help you transfer into spiritual goal, which is awareness, clarity, and illumination. Okay? So how can we do this? How to apply this to your chakra? Transmutations, converting heavy and stagnant energy into refined awareness and spiritual light. Okay, for me, I know this is going to be a little heavy, so just bear with me. For me, I was molested when I was a kid. So when I got to the point where I had to heal this part of myself, I had to really love on my inner child. I had to build her back up and allow her to express her feelings because her feelings was never expressed. So I had to hold space for that moment that we had because there's a part of us that was still stuck back there in the past. So by me holding space for her, allowing her to express everything she wanted to express and to be heard and seen at that moment, it allowed me to alchemically transmute that moment into something positive. Now that she's no longer living in the past, she can rise up and mature and live in the present empowered because she's finally heard and seen. And in that moment, we reprogrammed it for something positive instead of something negative. I know that what I went through in that moment was to help me and not hurt me, even though what happened to me was for me, but not to hurt me, and allowed me to build upon this moment to become the present person that I am. I understand that person that did this to me was hurting, and they had things that was done to them, so they was reacting based off of the things that was done to them. I do not blame them. I forgive them for what they did. I do not hate them. I return. In return, I give them conditional love because now I unconditionally love myself, and I don't live in the past. I know that that situation doesn't stop me from being the best version of myself in this present moment. So now, as y'all seen, I took that moment and transformed it into something positive to finally let go of that time in the past so I can continue to move forward in the present to give myself a better outcome for the future. That's all this is. You alchemizing the pain to turn it into something pleasurable and uplifting and empowering instead of disempowering myself. Now, as we look at the alchemical principles, transmutation, refinement, and balancing. I just taught you how you transmute it, converting heavy and stagnant energy into refined awareness and spiritual light. Refinement is purifying emotions and mental layers through consistent practice, compassion, and mindfulness. Balancing, harmonizing excess and harmonizing and each energy. I don't know why. It just stopped me from saying it. I don't know why it's hard for me to say. Harmonizing and balancing, learning moderation, grace, and equilibrium. By me doing all three of these, it allowed me to transform the whole situation to something positive. And now that I am harmonized, now that my frequency has healed and I've let go the past and I'm no longer living back there, my frequency has rising to a better vibration. I'm no longer operating on a lower frequency. My vibration is rising, and it's allowing me to be empowered and no longer allowing that part of me to continuously pull me down. And sometimes that shows up as disempowering. That shows up as self-sabotage. And what's the other word I'm looking for? And when you negative self-talk, if those things have repercussions for the self. So if you are empowering yourself, you can no longer disempower yourself. You can't change a person. We have to talk about that because a lot of times everything that happened to you, yes, I sympathize with, and it shouldn't happen to you. But now that we are here, now that you are here, how can you help yourself move past and empower yourself in that moment? No longer allowing that thing to disempower you and to take your light away from you and making you live such a miserable life. That person gonna get what they supposed to get, and you can't control another person. They're gonna do what they want to do because they have their own free will. We have to learn that people are going to be people no matter what. We have to change our circumstances by changing ourselves. Okay? Some of the common alchemical practices, I think I gave y'all this before, was yoga, mindful movement, breath work, visualization, guided meditation, dance, and flow. Yoga and mindful movement allows the body to align. And energy and frequency of each chakra is allowing it to clear out and to flow freely. So you're moving, and you because if you don't, the energy gets stagnant. It don't allow you to just flow free. It stops you from moving in a harmonized way where you can continue to flow and you can offload in a balanced way. This is why it's good for if you're a person that stays home and or either go to work, come back home, and you don't really move your body, you don't work out, your body is stagnant. Your energy field is very stagnant, and it's holding a whole bunch of old energy. And you could tell this by overeating, depression, stress. All these little things will show you beacons. It's just a beacon to let you know that there's something wrong with the body. There's something wrong with the energy field. We need to figure out how to balance us back out, because this is our vehicle. It's a full vehicle to allow us to move and groove in a way where we can continue to grow and not have those lower vibrational thoughts, those the things that cause us to have these different addictions and all this other stuff. The energy field is a beacon for this. It allows you to see where you are energetically. Okay? Then we got breath work. Breath work is a deep breathing bridges a deep breathing is deep. You know what? Deep breathing that bridges the physical and the energetic body. It bridges the physical and energetic body. So if you don't feel the energy, because I know in the beginning when I started this, I couldn't feel what other people felt. I couldn't feel my energy around me. That happened over time because I had to practice it. I had to bridge that part back of myself. And by doing this, it didn't start by me just staying who I was. I had to change a lot of things. I am vegan. And I've been vegan almost 10 years now. But me changing certain things allowed me to feel my energy a lot better. The foods was too heavy. Sugars didn't allow me to feel it. It was so many things that kept me. I even had to fast so I could start getting to have the awareness of these things, because I wasn't fully aware. I was walking around numb. And so to hear certain people talk about how they feel and their energy and all that stuff, I'm like, how can you feel that? Like I need the awareness of this so I can see this. But as you do breath work, that's what helped me. Me learning to breathe. It bridged the physical and emotion in the energetic body for me. And I had to reconnect that. That's how I ended up having one of the most profound experiences when it came to me doing breath work and meditation at the same time. I went somewhere and I met somebody while I was still sitting in my body and meditating. My consciousness left and went somewhere else. That was a whole nother experience that allowed me to believe in these practices a lot more, because now I have the capability to travel and my body stays here. And I got a chance to see someone that gave me insight on what was coming. It was an amazing experience to the point where I was so excited and I wanted to know more, because I had never, when it comes to spirituality and religion, I love God. I went to church faithfully. Anything that was going on, pastor's daughter, like, it was so exciting. But this part of myself was never explored. So me finding out some new things, it made me want to know more about me, because now I'm getting more things. I'm experiencing more things now than I ever had before. And I didn't have a manual. It's just, I stumbled across it. My soul showed me, different things I did end up was my guiding light. Now let's get to the visual. Visualization is also another alchemical practice. Envisioning spinning spears or radiant light within each seal cleanses and reawakens the flow. If you feel like you're off balance, you can visualize this. And I always encourage you to practice it because it'll help you strengthen the connection with the inner self. Because I couldn't, in the beginning when I started meditating, I couldn't connect. I had a disconnect between me and the self. But meditation helped me. These visualization helped me. Breath work helped me. Going on walks helped me. Constantly centering my thoughts and my intentions on the inner self allowed me to bridge the connection with the self because I didn't have that before. All I knew was I was human and I was constantly just working and taking care of kids and everything else, but my life sucked. So me, with my life sucking the way it did, I want a better life. Like I wanted to be happy, to exist. I asked God, use me. Like, tell me what am I doing wrong? Because for the most part, I thought I was a great person and I had a big heart and I helped everybody, but I was so miserable. I wanted out of here. But as I began to do all these things, it allowed me to experience something new, and it gave me a lot of hope. Now, guided meditation, you can find them on YouTube. You can find them anywhere if that's what you call to do. A lot of these practices, it's up to you and what's comfortable to you. I'm just going to give you what you can do, and you can choose from them. I did a couple guided meditation, but that didn't work for me because you have to focus on one chakra with breath, affirmation, and imaginary deepened connection. I mean, I feel like yourself will tell you what you need. Now you can bring it to your awareness, and then you'll open the door for yourself to tell you, okay, this is what we can do, because like I said, we're all different. Dance and flow was a good one for me. I love to dance. I love music, so I would find different things that would call to my soul. When it comes to drums, I always call to drums and ancient music, or just instrumentals, and just dance. Like put the headphones on and dance, or either just sit there and go from side to side. That'll help you deepen your connection with your inner self and your energy field. It is amazing. It is amazing. I didn't know much about it until I got to the point, as you meditate, the reason why I love meditation is it shows you the storm, what's going on in the inside of you. For the longest, I didn't know my storm was that corrupted. Like the thoughts that were coming up, I knew they weren't mine. So, and I never heard them before because I was always on the go. I was constantly going, I constantly moving, and then I was dealing with a lot of people. So I never cleansed my energy field. So as I sit there and I saw how my monkey mind, I mean, literally, my eyes couldn't stay still. My body was still, but my eyes and everything was jumping. Like it was just all over the place. I was like, oh my God, that's my mind? That was my mind. So once you see that it's your mind, you're trying to calm the storm, you have to realize that the storm is trying to tell you something. So as you're trying to calm it, things will start. The more and more you practice, there'll be more and more things come up for you to actually heal and let go. And then the storm will come slower and slower and slower. But you have to work at it. It ain't something that's gonna happen overnight. I'm telling you now. It took me a while to get there, but you got to start somewhere. Okay, but dancing and flowing, that'll help you. If it can get you in a trance, anything that can get you in a meditative state, you don't have to sit down to meditate. You can drive. You can walk, you can work out and get into a meditative state to the point where you can see yourself, because you want to see yourself. And when I say see yourself, you want to hear your thoughts. You want to see how your heart feels, and if anger come up, you ask the question, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to tell me? Why is this coming up? Start talking to yourself to the point where you are learning more about yourself, and yourself will start telling you, okay, this is what you need to do. You'll get certain words and all this stuff. You'll learn how to connect more with the inner self. Now, I have information on how to alchemize the alchemized process, the alchemical process through the 7 seals. But I'll probably post that. But we're going to run through them real quick. So the root chakra, transferring fear into foundation, awakening stability and trust in life. Sacral chakra, transmuting desire into creativity, flowing with emotional emotional intelligence. Solar plexus, refining will into purpose, acting from clarity and courage. Heart, melting defense into compassion, becoming the bridge of love. Throat, turning silence into truth, expressing the grace and resonance. Third eye, dissolving illusion into vision, perceiving divine order in all. Crown, completing the great work, embodying unity, light, divine remembrance. This is amazing. So as you go through this, you will be rewarded. A lot of people don't know that. Now, is this path an easy path? No, but it's worth it. You're worth it. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. But this path will allow you to see what everything is. It'll allow you to see the missing pieces and connecting the dots of the cosmos, the planets, with you and what you are. Like even with the chakras, they have planets that they work with. And they're also alchemical metals. So I'm going to say this because I didn't say this before. So let's go back. Root chakra, root seal, is alchemical. The alchemical metal for it is lead. The planet that it works with is Saturn. The essence of the transformation is transforming fear into foundation, awakening, stability, and trust in life. The chakra/seal is sacral. The alchemical metal is tin. The planet is Jupiter. The essence of transformation is transmuting desire into creativity, flowing with emotional intelligence. Solar plexus, the alchemical metal is iron. The planet is Mars. The essence of transformation is refining will into purpose, acting from clarity and courage. The chakra is the heart. The alchemical metal of the heart is copper. The planet it is associated with is Venus. The essence of transmutation is melting defense into compassion, becoming the bridge of love. The chakra is the throat. The alchemical metal of the throat is Mercury. The planet that it works with is Mercury. The essence of transmutation is turning silence into truth, expressing with grace and resonance. The chakra is the third eye. The alchemical metal is silver. The planet that it works with is the moon. The essence of transmutation is dissolving the illusion into vision, perceiving divine order in all. The next chakra is the crown, and the alchemical metal for the crown is gold. The planet that it works with is the sun. The essence of transmutation is completing the great work, embodying unity, light, and divine remembrance. I hope you heard me. So as you go through each seal and each chakra, you are transmuting into something great. In return, when you make it to the last chakra, you are completing the great work and embody unity, light, and divine remembrance, which is a great reward because you have went through so much. Now you understand how everything works, and you will now begin to see it outwardly because you did all the work inwardly. And in your life and reality is going to change too in the process, because we have to understand that our reality is the way it is because we got things going on inside. The way that this world is designed is to show you. It's a mirror what you got going on inside of you in your outer world. I know it's a hard thing to take and understand, but it's the truth. And as you begin to transmute and transform and alchemize these things within, your outer world will start reflecting it. And that's when you will be living in a state of peace because now you created it. As each cell's open, the river of your being flows together, forming the living Eden within. Now, in summary of this, we're going to talk about each chakra. The root is grounding. Walk barefoot, connect with the earth, affirm safety and presence. Solar, flow, move, dance, harmony, motions, create with joy. The solar is empowerment. You're going to speak affirmation of purpose, act with conscious will. Your heart is open. It has to stay open. If it's closed, it's not balanced, okay? Practice forgiveness, gratitude, and compassion daily. Your throat is expression. Learn to express how you feel. Sing, chant, or write your truth with honesty and speak your truth. Tell people how you feel. Don't hold it in. Allow people to understand and see you for who you are, and then they will maneuver. They will decide they want to stay or not. If they don't want to stay, then let them go. The third eye is seeing. That means seeing everything through illusions, through with who people are, and understanding that you have to make decisions based off of what you want that's best for you, because you see what the outcome is going to be based off of everything that you see within that person or the energy that they hold. Okay? So to keep this balance, you have to meditate, visualize, and trust inner knowing. Intuition is very important with this chakra. The crown, surrender. Surrendering means let go of control. Allow the universe to bring everything in. If your heart is open, you're open to receiving. Open to receiving what you need and what you want and what you're vibrating out, okay? That means praying, listening, resting, divine silence, or meditating or writing, whatever it is that you need for you to keep you balanced in a way where you continue harmonizing and living in peace. This is amazing. Now, before we close, I know I tell people all the time, make sure you write. You get a journal. This process requires you to reflect. You have to reflect, because sometimes it's better written out and sometimes it's better spoken out. You can record yourself while you're speaking it outward so you can understand. Talk out loud to offload and to receive information. A lot of times we forget that when you pray, you asking for something. But when you meditate, you receive the information. You can do both at the same time. You can sit with yourself and just talk to God. And all of a sudden, information start flowing in. That's going to take some time for you to realize that's what's going on, because you're not used to talking. You're used to asking for things all the time and not really sitting there waiting for the answer to come to you. If you sit there long enough, it will come to you easily. But you have to learn to train yourself how this actually works. How does source talk to me? How does the universe talk to me? How does God talk to me? How do I receive from the things I need to receive by me sitting there and waiting and being patient for the outcome or the information that I'm asking for? So those of you that have journals, let's think about this. This is what I want you to think about. What in me is ready to be transmuted into light? Which seal am I being called to open more fully through love, awareness, and daily practice? And which of my 7 seals feels open and alive? And which feels guarded or silent? How can I nurture the part of myself with compassion this week? I'm going to read that again. This is the prompts, journal prompts. Where you could reflect, do a little reflection on, okay? What in me is ready to be transmuted into light? Which seal am I being called to open more fully through love, awareness, and daily practice? Or you can say, which of my 7 seals feels open and alive? Which feels guarded or silent? How can I nurture that part of myself with compassion this week? Okay? This week is amazing. I know I'm doing these keys back to back, but you can take it where you can do it week to week. It's however whatever your soul desires. Because I know it's gonna take a lot to unpack and for you to actually process. But I know you can. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Understand that we don't know everything, but be open to the information that you're given, so you could open other doors. We're not limited. We're limitless. And remember, we are the ones that stop our growth and limit our experience while we're here. You can experience a lot of things. There's so many other things. We're multidimensional beings. And there's so much stuff and knowledge and beautiful things that you can't experience unless you are open to it. Okay? So the closing words for tonight. When your energy flows in harmony, your soul remembers its original song, the melody of light that was always yours. The 7 seals of the soul are ladders to climb, but petals awakening in divine rhythm. Each one reveals more of who you truly are. You are the temple and the flame within. You are the priest, the prayer, and the promise fulfilled. Walk gently upon the earth, beloveds. Breathe deeply of the living light. Let the rivers of your being flow, and may your inner guard remain forever open to the sun. I had an amazing time tonight. I thank you for being here, for listening to me, and just tuning in. This is an amazing series, and I'm truly grateful to be able to give you guys this information. There's so much more things that's coming out on my website. Those of you, this should be linked in the bio, but the website is for the ones that's on podcast, because I'm going to post this on podcast. It is academyofthegoldengate.com. There are homeschool options that will be posted really soon for 12 to 13 weeks of things, teaching the kids who they really are and giving them the truth, and not watering it down, allowing them to fully develop into who they are. And it's a sacred space, a sacred temple, a refuge for us to be who we are and what we are with no regrets. I enjoyed tonight, and I appreciate you, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.